This conference will now be recorded.
So I have shared the video when content access team. I have given the content access. I request you to download them from there. Okay, the files you can download it, and I hope you are part of either Venkat A, Venkat B. Okay, you are part of Venkat A or Venkat B, and I pinged you the password for that particular ID in WhatsApp group. Okay, so WhatsApp group link I sent to our email, so you can join by using that particular group link. Okay, any queries before I proceed, before getting into the content?
Hi, hi Venkat. I want to ask one thing. Where can we
Mhm.
I get access of notes?
See, I dropped yesterday or today morning, I don't know. I gave you would have
Oh,
got an email from SharePoint, okay, with my name, Venkat since 2010. You check either spam or inbox, you would have got it. The
okay.
SharePoint access I have given.
Can you please send me again?
Sir, already I gave it, sir. Kindly check your spam or inbox. That's what I am saying.
Okay.
First, you need to check your end, right? Without checking, if I give one more time, what is the use? After checking, if it is not there, then we can think about it.
Okay. Okay. There is not in a spam in any mail.
Sorry?
Hello. There is no any
Yeah.
mail in my spam and my
Check
inbox.
in. Okay. Okay, fine. I'll do it then. Okay. Right. So, any other queries before I proceed further? Right.
No, Venkat.
So,
No.
team, yesterday I explained, different roles in mainframe technology and all. So, today I'll explain. So, in mainframe, okay, uh, I discussed, right? We have a TSO subsystem. What is that? TSO is a subsystem, and JCL is a program like a programming language. So TSO we can call as a region. TSO we can call as a TSO region. Then, and we discussed about something called emulator. We were using Microsoft emulator, Microsoft TN3270 emulator we are using. You can use Vista TN3270 or other emulator. It is not necessary to use only Microsoft emulator. You can use any other emulator. Okay, so once you install the emulator, you have to configure mainframe IP address and port number. Then automatically you will be able to connect to server. From there, everything is same. Okay, right. So we are going to learn today, okay, how to connect to the server, the terminology. We have something in a web page, okay, if you say web page, website. In a website, we will be having a something called page. In website, we have something called page, right? In mainframes, in a TSO, we have something called panel or screen. Okay, we have a panel and a screen. So how we can navigate from one screen to another screen. So in mainframe technology, the function keys are going to play key role. Function keys are going to play, it is going to play the key role like F1, F2, F3, all the function keys. We will see them as well as. So I'll do login now. Right now, so this is the screen team. I connected to the server. I will connect it for you again. Already Microsoft is there. I'm opening. I click on continue trial. So temporary key will not ask for you. Okay, it will not ask for you if you are using first time. Okay, because first 30 days it will not ask anything. Now, so after whatever the temporary key is visible to you on the top of this box, you have to enter 1024920A1. So enter this type key. For you it might be connecting automatically. For me I have to click on file, connect, whatever the name you have given while configuration. So we have to select that file. So I have different connected servers. I am using this server now. So what does mean team? We connected to server. Server is located somewhere in India or somewhere in the world. We may need to think about is it server is located in India and all, because when in real time in project your server will be in Europe, your server will be in Philippines or Singapore. It can be anywhere, but we will be able to connect to the server. Okay, we will be able to connect to server. So this screen is going to vary client to client, mainframe server to server. Okay, example, if you're working in either in TCS or Infosys or any company, right? There are multiple projects will be there. There are multiple projects will be there. So nothing but client. The client which is there, uh, the screen which is there for one client, the same screen will not be there. The initial screen. This may not be the same. Okay, but this lines usually the common. Okay, this stuff is common. The one which you are seeing highlighted one, it may be different. It might be different. So here you see that there are two ways to do login. Okay, there are two ways to log in into mainframe. Enter, log on. If you forget, the syntax they have given, log on followed by TSO user ID. So what is a TSO user ID? TSO user ID is a Venkat A or Venkat B in our training. So Venkat A or Venkat B, you might be using Venkat A or Venkat B. So whichever the ID I have given it to you, you have to give that. Example, log on space Venkat A, log on space Venkat B, or we type L, hit the enter. So I will do this one. Here you need to type log on Venkat A. I will enter Venkat A. So hit the enter. Once you type the user ID, enter, you will be landed on this screen. You have to enter the password. I entered the password. Password is not, it is a masked one. It is masked with the stars. User ID Venkat A. Password 3 stars. The procedure is a proc name. Account number, these are all, you don't need to change anything. Okay, just don't do anything here. Once you enter the password, hit the enter button. Now I will share this today's video with everyone, so that if you want you can revisit this video again. Now okay, you see that Venkat A last time logged in 9 a.m. 9 o'clock 938 on Tuesday, February 20th. So it might be the server is in different zone. The server might be different zone, like because I said right, if it is in US time zone, it might be morning in US, right? If that is a time, zone, then we will be having morning. For us, it doesn't matter. Okay, next you are able to see ready screen. Once the ready is ready, you have to type ISPF to proceed further. Type ISPF. So you will be able to see a screen called ISPF panel. Enter and enter. So you have to enter that twice. So this is called ISPF primary option menu. The screen which you are seeing is called ISPF primary option menu. Okay, this is the main window. Now, so this is called menu bar. What you call this is called menu bar. Okay, and this is called the command line. What is it? Menu bar, command line, and options of the screen. What are the options you can see? And we can see bottom function keys. So these are all the things you are able to see on any screen commonly. So what is the menu bar? So this is the menu bar. Then this is the screen name. It is ISPF primary option menu. Then this is the command line. You have something called command line. What is that? This is the command line. Then so let me. These are all function keys. What are these are all function keys. So as I told you, so we should use predominantly function keys. Okay, if you are using, in our life we would have used F1 or function keys to increase the volume, to decrease the volume, or to display. Okay, the display, if you want to increase the brightness, for that purpose you would have used the function keys. But here we use regularly on daily basis and frequently function keys. We will discuss about function keys in a while, one by one. Okay, this is all about function keys, and these are all the options which you can execute on the screen. These are all the options which you can execute. 0 settings, 1 view, 2 edit, 3 utilities. So these are all options and corresponding numbers. Okay, so this is all about the screen. Now, so first command I will tell you, okay, which is easy one. pf show on, pf show off. To display the function keys, we use pf show on. To hide, you are not disabling the functionalities, just you are hiding. To hide the function keys, we use pf show off. So I will type pf show on, pf show space on. Anyhow, it is already visible. No reflection, no problem. Then type pf show and space off. It is not a case sensitive. It is not a case sensitive. You can type lowercase or uppercase. The commands are not case sensitive. You can type lowercase or uppercase, combination of both of them. And can you see? Are you able to see the function keys on the bottom? No. Still, you can execute the function keys, only it is not visible. It is not visible. Okay, team. Are you clear so far? Any queries? Next. Okay. So I will again type PF show on. So it is going to display function keys. Next. So the other command is settings. Just to practice, don't do more experiments. Now command line. Where is the command line? Command line. It is there on top of the page. I want to bring this command line to the bottom. Okay. First you type settings, which is a command, TSO commands. We call them as a TSO commands. Settings, hit the enter. You can see if you want to bring a command line at bottom, enter slash to select option. What you have to do, if you want command line at bottom, you have to select it, this one. So give a slash, hit the enter, and you have to press F3 to go back to the previous screen. What you have to do, you have to press F3 to go back to the previous screen. I pressed F3. Okay, team. So now how I can bring back to the top, how I can take to the top, type settings, hit the enter. Now if I unselect it, if I remove the checkbox and hit the enter, it will come to the automatically the top. Okay. So how I can go back to the previous screen, press F3. Press F3 to go back to the previous screen. In a web page we use a backspace, backspace button. Here we use F3. F3 function key is used to go back to the previous screen. Okay. Next. Okay. So if you see, we have a something called color. Okay. There is a color function. If you want to change the colors of the default colors, if you want to change, type color, hit the enter. Okay. Wherever blue is there, if you want to change it to red, you can type red. If you see, this is the blue, right? This is the blue. Now this is going to change it to red. If you give red, let's say green. This is entire description is a green, but I want in a red color. So go here, type red. Now you see that it got changed to red. So your wherever green is there, you are changing to red. Turkish color. So can you see, this is a Turkish color. So I want to change it to again this also red. Hit the enter. Once you type the red you want to use as it is with these colors, press F3. You see that earlier it has one color, now you have a different color. So how to change the colors, team? Type color command, hit the enter. Now I don't want to any deep, I want to go with the default. Then go back to your color screen, remove the values, hit the enter button, it is changed. Press F3 to go back to the previous screen. This is color command. What it is? This is the color command. Now, if I want to go to any one of the option, what is there here? What is here view? So if I type 0, 0 means, what does mean? Settings. Okay, so it's terminal and user parameters. So type 0, hit the enter. So now you can see the same what we got using setting commands. During setting commands, same we got through 0 option also. Okay, we got even 0 option also. So how now you see this thing? We should know something called more plus. So more plus means something is there in the bottom. Something is there in the bottom. How we can go to the below data? Press F8. So F3 function key is equivalent to go to previous screen. F F8. Okay, F8 page down, which is nothing but down. Okay, F7 is page up. We use a page up, right? Same here is a F7 is a page up. Up. Now I press F8. You can see here. Now there is a plus minus. Minus means something is there early on above. Plus means something still it is there in the bottom. So if I give plus, it will go bottom. Now there is no plus means nothing is there in the bottom. Minus means it is there on the top. To go back to the top, F7, and still now F7. Like this, we have to use function keys. So we use page up, page down in the web application. Here we use F8, F7 function keys. Is it clear?
Yes.
I'll press F3 to go back to the previous screen. So we already discussed F3, F8, F7. Now I will select a one, that is a view. What is the meaning? One view. So if you want to view the data from data set, so as I told you, right, data set is nothing but either a notepad or folder. Okay, data set is nothing but either notepad or folder. So if you want to see the notepad, okay, if you want to see the notepad, so you can view the data from here. Again, here also we have a plus. Plus means something we can see bottom. Okay, more. Press F3 to go back to the previous screen. Press F3 to go back to the previous screen. Now edit. So type 2, hit the enter. Now you can see if you want to modify the data set, we can use 2. you can use 2. Okay, if you want to edit the data, you can just type 2. I'll press F3. At this moment, we don't know data set, so we don't touch it. So 3 utilities. So if you, this is very important for TSO ISPF. Type 3, hit the enter. Now you can see in a third utility, 3 means utilities. What is the meaning of 3? Utilities. What you can do with the 3? You can allocate. Allocate is nothing but create. We can create a data set, which is a brand new data set. We can rename the file name. We can rename the file name. We can delete the file name. We have something called catalog and catalog and all. If you want to see the properties of the file, let's say if you create a folder, you want to see when the folder is created, what is the size of the folder. Okay, it is a read only. Like that, if you want to see the attributes about the file, attribute ATTR BUE and attribute BUTE attribute. So if you want to see the attribute details, we can use information. No, Venkat, I want to copy the data from one file to another file. If you want to copy the data from one file to another file, so we can use third option to copy the data. Next, fourth. What is the use of fourth? If you want to, see the data sets which are there on the server, okay. If you want to see the data sets which are there on the system, we can use DS list. So rest of the options 12, 13, 14. Super C, Super CE, search for extend. So we may not, I don't discuss it, but you have to explore it that later once our TSO ISPF training is completed. Okay. Any queries so far? Are you good? Comfortable till now? Now I'll press F3 to go back to the previous screen. So this is all navigation part, few comments which we can discuss now. Okay, and data set, we discussed about the functional keys. Now, like if I open a Windows, you see that I open this, there is IBM mainframes. I open something called what you call, I will open, this is a what? So this is a one window, this is another window, google.com. This is the third window. So how many windows are there? 1, 2, 3. There are 3 windows are there. So you have to use a mouse to go to particular window or use Alt tab. So to navigate from one window to another window, we can use Alt. We can use Alt. So now how many screens are there? Okay, as per our experience and as of now, we have only one screen. How do you know how many screens are there? You can write swap list to know how many screens are present. So you type on any screen, any command, any screen, swap list. So you see that now you have only one star indicates current screen. There is only one screen which is on the first, the control on the first screen. How to start the new screen? We have to use a command called start. We have to use a start command. I'll press F3 to go back to from this screen to previous screen. How to open the new screen? Start. I want to go to 0 settings. 0. Start 0. Now how do you know how many screens are there? Type swap list. Now you see that on second is the screen, that is the settings. Control is at the setting because star indicates that your control at the settings screen. If you press F9, that is a swap. Okay, like if you if you swap the coin, you will get a head and tail, right? Either head and tail. So whenever you press F9, it is going to swap at this moment between them. If you press F9, now control will go to this particular ISPF primary option menu. If you type one more time, it will come to settings. So it is going to swap like a coin. Now I'll press F3. How to open another screen? Start 3. 3 means utilities. Okay. Now where is our control now? Utility selection panel. Swap list. How to know what are the swap list? This is the one. Now star. It is there on the utility screen. Your control is going to, the control is going to change every time. Now where is the control? On utility screen. If I press F9, where it goes? Settings. Where it goes? Settings. I'll press F3 now. But I want to go to the first screen. Press 1 F9. If I want to go to the second screen, 2 F9. If I want to go to the third screen, 3 F9. So you have to type the screen number, press F9. Press F9 to go to the particular screen panel. Okay, so that is all about F9 function key. F9 function key we use predominantly and only for swapping. Okay, for swapping. We don't do anything else apart from that. Okay, now, so you know very well that I executed few commands. I want to know what are the commands recently I executed. So you can type RETP, retrieve panel, RETP, and enter. You can see most recently executed one is a 1. Before that 2. Okay, start 3. There is a 1. Like this. These are all the commands we executed recently. These are all the commands we executed recently. So now we have a plus. Plus means more. I will press F8. Maximum how many commands you can see? 25. So till now we did not execute 25 commands. So once you do logout, all of them will be going to vanish. All of them are going to vanish. So if when you execute the commands, again it will start recording the recently executed commands in the retrieve. Okay, in the retrieve panel or whatever you call. Press F3 to go back to the previous screen. Are you clear?
Yes.
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 Next. I will see some theoretical concepts about dataset. Now we will see datasets. We'll discuss about something about datasets. So rest of the commands, function keys we will discuss eventually later. So F9 swap list. What is that? Swap list. Now let's go to, we will discuss something called datasets. So what is dataset team? Because we have to do hands-on from here only. So what is dataset? Dataset is nothing but either it can be a folder or it can be a flat zip file. Okay. So in mainframe technology, datasets are divided into two categories. One is non-VSAM datasets. One is non-VSAM datasets. The other one is VSAM datasets. We are going to learn both of them in our training. First, non-VSAM. So PDS partitioned data set. PDS stands partitioned data set. PS nothing but physical sequential file or flat file or sequential file. All are same. Physical sequential or sequential file or okay sequential flat or physical sequential. All are same category. All are same. Okay, team. Now, so is PDS is a similar to a folder. Okay, a folder has which has files. Okay, this is like a what we call, this can be called as a flat file, or we can call as a sequential file or physical sequential file. Okay, you can call physical sequential file or flat file or sequential file. Now,
What does PDS stands for?
PDS stands for partitioned data set. Partitioned data set. Okay, so you can see PDS stands in mainframe. Okay, because that is very important. Partitioned data set. Okay, so partitioned data set.
Okay.
In our soft copy material, all of them are their team. What is a physical sequential? Everything is there in our soft copy material. Okay, you have to go through that. Next. So now in PDS, what we will store? So we write the programs. Basically, the programs will be there, or load libraries. Okay, load libraries nothing but the system which can understand copy books. Okay, all of them will be there within a PDS. We keep programs, copybooks, load libraries, everything in the PDS. So we have something called PS, flat file. In a flat file, we will be having the end users data. So end users data is present in sequential file. So this can be called as a transaction file also. PS file we can call as a transaction file. Right. So like end users data means ATM transactions, bank employees, or insurance premium transactions, all will be there in a we will store in the physical sequential file. Okay, so whereas VSAM data sets are, we have something called KSDS, ESDS, RRDS, and LDS. So if you want to know what is the each stands, let me get it for you. Okay, I'll refer this one, because if I copy from, yeah, so you can see what is what here. So we will discuss, as I said, that eventually later, not now. KSDS stands key sequence data set, entry sequence data set, RRDS relative record data set, linear data set. So these are all the four data sets within a VSAM. So non-VSAM files can store on tape or dash the storage device. Whereas VSAM datasets can store only on dash D. It can store only on dash D. So I was telling you other day, right? So tape. Okay. So tape is a storage device. It is an old storage device. It is a old storage device. So there are few more differences are there. Okay. It is too early to discuss about more differences now. Okay. Now I'll explain you. Okay. Data set name rules. You should remember from here. Dataset name, either it can be partitioned dataset or physical sequential file or entry sequence dataset or RRDS or KSDS or LDS. Irrespective of the dataset, the rules are same. Okay, the rules are same. Like a file name rules, I can say length of the dataset name. So minimum length 1 and maximum length 44 characters. Minimum length one character. Max length is 44 characters. So dataset name is divided into qualifiers. What we call qualifiers. Okay. Dataset name is like example. Okay, Venkat A B C D. So it is a invalid. There is invalid file name or dataset. So the reason for that team, if you see this, the length is has more than 8 characters. The length has more than 8. Okay, so I'll tell you what is that. Dataset is divided into qualifiers. Dataset is divided into qualifiers. So by the way, dataset in dataset name allowed characters are A to Z, 0 to 9, at the rate, or hash, or dollar. Yeah, these three characters are allowed. At the rate, hash, dollar. These three national characters are allowed. National characters in mainframe. Just to search it. Okay. Can you see? Dollar, hash, at the rate are called as a national characters. So we call as a national characters, or we call actually usually call as a special characters, which are allowed in the dataset name is this three, at the rate, hash, dollar. Now, so dataset name is divided into qualifiers. Each qualifier length, I'll tell you, each qualifier length 1 to 8 characters. Okay, each qualifier is separated by dot. So qualifier should start with a character A to Z or special character. Qualifier can end with a character or special characters, which I mentioned on the above, or numbers. Qualifier can have the qualifier name can have the A to Z, 0 to 9, or national character at the rate hash all. Okay. So now the examples are Venkat A, the valid name. Venkat A dot B is a valid. So in this length of the file name, number of qualifiers and how many qualifiers are there. So I'll answer. So Venkat 6 characters, A is a 7.8 and B. Total length of the dataset name is 9. So this, if you see the total length 44, this is satisfied. Now, so before dot, what is the length of the qualifier? It is less than 8 or not? Yes. Venkat 6 and 7. So till dot excluding dot it is a 7. So it is a qualifier rule is satisfied 1 to 8. The second qualifier is a B. Okay. So it is a length is a 1. This is satisfied. There are two qualifiers are there. Number of qualifiers are 2. Okay. Number of qualifiers are 2. And what are those qualifiers? Venkat A is the one qualifier and B is the another qualifier. B is the another qualifier. Okay. So this is all about one valid dataset name. In real time, this is called first qualifier should be our mainframe ID. First qualifier should be our mainframe ID. So I'll take another example. A dot B dot C dot D. Now, how many qualifiers are there, guys? Give me the answer. How many qualifiers are there? Now give me the answers.
4.
4.
4.
4. What is the length of the file name? Or
7.
7.
7.
Yeah, sorry guys, my laptop got restarted all of a sudden. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes, Venkat.
Yes.
Yes,
Thank you.
yes, Venkat.
Yeah. So I was telling you this one, right? You're able to see my screen also. So I'm talking this A dot B dot C dot D. How many qualifiers are there? 4, right? Okay. What is the length of the file? What is the length of the file?
7.
7.
7. So including dot also 7. A dot 2, B 3 dot 4, 6, 7, right? 7. Okay. So what are those qualifiers? What are those qualifiers? A, B, C, D are qualifiers. A is high level qualifier. The first we call as a high level qualifier. B is low level qualifier. B is a low level qualifier. Next. So now Venkat A dot at the rate ABC. Is it a valid or invalid? Valid or invalid? Valid data set name or invalid data set name?
Invalid.
Valid.
It is a valid. So it is a valid because dollar is allowed. You see that at the rate hash dollar is allowed. You can start it. Qualifier can start, not a should, can start with the character or special characters. What are those? Hash, dollar, at the rate. You can start with there. Now, what is the length of the data set name? What is the length of the data set name? Length of the
12.
data set. Okay, I'm not counting,
Uh,
guys. Yeah, go ahead.
12.
12. How many qualifiers are there?
2.
2. Your total two qualifiers are there. Next, so I'll say V 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, V 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. V 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. A 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. By the way, is it a valid or invalid?
Valid.
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 What is the length of the dataset name? Length of the dataset name including the dots. Count it.
35.
Yeah, answer is 35. How many qualifiers are there?
4.
4.
4. What is the high level qualifier? P,
V.
first one.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
3,
6.
4, 5, 6, 7. What is the low level qualifier?
A
A
1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
7.
6, 7.
Okay. Next, Venkat B dot 123 dot ABC AC dot Venkat B dot ABC dot one pq dot ps file. Is it a valid or invalid?
Valid.
Invalid. Invalid.
Invalid. If it is invalid, why it is invalid?
Because the third qualifier is starting with number.
Static qualifier is starting with the number. Okay, so it is invalid. Venkat A, B, C, A, B, C, PQR. Valid or invalid?
Valid.
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 No, invalid.
Invalid. What is the length of the qualifier?
First, high level qualifier is
What is the
greater
Should
length
than
be
of,
8.
8 only.
Greater than 8.
Length of the qualifier should be 8.
yeah, 1 to 8, right?
Yes.
Qualifier length is more than 8, hence it is invalid. Venkat A dot data set ts dot abc. Yeah, valid or invalid? Valid or invalid?
Valid.
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 Second qualifier is second qualifier length is more than 8, right? Data 4 set ps4 s9, total length is a 9. Okay, team. So these are all the examples to say what is a valid, what is an invalid data set name and all. Is it clear? So
Yes.
Yes.
that's all for today from my end. So tomorrow you will get the